to the Stockwell Eldridge Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
And I'm Dawn Eldridge with Remax Results.
We have great guests here, Steve Furlong with Mortgages Unlimited, Jack Lee, Voyageur Outward Bound School, and Daniel Paley, who is an agent with Remax with us as well. I just want to make sure. I was thinking about Voyageur. I was like, did I say that right? Voyageur Outward Bound School. Yeah, I just make sure I said it right.
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's spelled differently.
It is, yeah.
And so that's why I remember when I was looking it up on the internet, I was like, okay, did I get that right? And then it all came up, and then I was reading everything. And, you know, I noticed on the site that there was a spot that you could donate, but what are ways that people can get involved? Because I would love to get involved myself even. So
yeah, I mean, we'll have, from time to time down, we'll have different events that people can come to find out more about what's happening. People can certainly donate. We'll raise about $1 million this year in donations. As we said, almost all that goes toward scholarships what we want to make sure is that what we're doing can be affordable to anybody regardless of income. We've got some volunteer positions. We don't have as many as a lot of nonprofits, but we have some different places where we could have people volunteer, and certainly we have a board of directors and a board and some different advisors. So there's ways that people can help if someone said, hey, you know, I've got a passion around marketing, or I've got a passion around communications, or something like that, hey, we can work with them, kind of bounce ideas off them, things like that.
can people go to the website and
Absolutely.
find out about all that? So our last show was about some things about tax time. So
yes, that's
donations. Go on the website, vobs.org. V as in Victor, O, B as in boy, S.org. Perfect time to meet some of those deductions that you want to do.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what, we talked kind of about some of the demographics, but also what about male, is it pretty co-ed, or do you see a bit larger majority of male or female? Or
It's pretty much 50-50 split. We'll have some programs up north that are all girls programs. We'll have some that are all boys, but most of them are split, and it's pretty much a 50-50 split.
Okay, and are these kids that need help, or is it just anybody that wants to come?
Yeah, I mean the ones going up north are kind of individuals signing up on their own. So some would sign up on their own, go up, and they get put with 6 other people, and next thing you know, they're spending 2 or 3 weeks in the Boundary Waters with those people. So they're generally signing up on their own. Here in the Twin Cities, it's programs with groups. So it'd be, hey, you're a part of, you know, the 8th grade class from this middle school, and you're on one of our programs. And again, we have kind of the selective. We have programs that appeal to everybody. We also have some targeted ones, the ones, as I say, up north that serve people who might be having some challenges, teenagers who may not be making great decisions, and also our veterans programs up there.
Yeah, and I think that the kids one, that would have been good when I was in school. I remember, you know, every teenagers, especially that 13 in middle school through high school, it can be a troubling time, and you're finding all kinds of new things, and and you might be sucked down a path that might not be good, and that would be, you know, I'm sure there were programs available back when I was in high school, but that would have been one that would have been really good to get connected with, because getting away from your environment, right, and then doing something physical outside, you have fresh air, you have physical tasks, and you're accomplishing things. When a lot of people go down that path, maybe because they're feeling like they're not able to accomplish something, or maybe they are being bullied at school, or maybe their self-esteem is low because they're going through their high school or middle school phases, you know, and things like that, or their friends and all the breakups and fights. I mean, there's just zillions of things that happen in that age group. So is it all over summers then? So because if you're gone for that long, you got to be over the summer, right?
It's going to be for teenagers. It's mostly going to be in summer.
Yep.
Like the dog sledding is more going to be adults who are taking those in the wintertime. And yeah, as you're saying, Jason, it's really as you know, teenagers might be having some confidence problems, and so we're trying to give them an arena, a safe place where they can be challenged, where they can succeed, also where they can fail and realize, hey, that's okay, I can bounce back from that.
Yeah.
And in the end, they walk away with more confidence in what they're able to do, and can, you know, be kind of the person who they want to be.
Is it something where you see a lot of it where it's
Mm-hmm.
single parent families? Is that kind of, or do you track any of that, or is it just kind of
Yeah, I mean,
whoever's?
I would say it's pretty mixed. I would say we might find that if I really looked at it, some of the programs with kids who are maybe having some of the challenges might more often be single parent families, but it's pretty mixed, to be honest with you. And as we said earlier, you could really pick out any teenager and say, okay, here are the challenges that he or she is facing. It's especially today. I think there are just a lot of challenges for kids, a lot of pressures. It's very fast, culture that we're in. I think
Do you guys
it's
have
really tough.
rules that they can't be on their phone all the time?
No, they're on. Yeah,
I think that's part of the problem. That
It is.
yeah. So they hand in their phone.
Oh,
when they start.
really?
So if they're on a 3-week program, they hand in their phone. You go through the check, make sure they don't have any marijuana or anything that they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And you go through their stuff, and then they're out there with their group for 3 weeks. And
That's awesome.
And it's
I think that
something
alone, pulling away from the. I know I'm personally, I'll admit, probably addicted, as many people. If you look at your phone more than whatever times a day, you're probably addicted on some level. So we're all probably addicted, and kids, especially at that age group, can get addicted to that easier than anybody, probably, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I was just at a Caribou before coming here, and I saw 3 kids. They were probably maybe 10 years old, and they're sitting at a table together, and each of them are looking at their phone. They're not looking at each other. They're not talking to each other. They're each, and they're probably on Facebook or something. And what with our programs, as I say, they're with each other for 3 weeks. So whether they like each other or not, they're going to have to figure out how to work together because again, it's that there's more in me than I thought, but also, hey, I'm a part of a group, and wow, this group actually can do more than I thought. And so when you go back home, you go, hey, I can do even more than I thought. And you know what? Actually, probably the teams or the groups or my family or things, you know what? I bet we can work together better. I bet we can do great
they tie
things.
it into other parts of their life. I think that's
wonderful.
Yep.
So Jack
Wow.
Lee, Voyageur Outward Bound School, VOBS.org. Check it out on our Facebook page or go to the website. And thanks so much,
Donate.
Jack, and donate. And thanks so
Absolutely.
much for being here. Any from a mortgage perspective, anything else, Steve, that you would want to chime in with here?
Well, actually,
before we close?
I would say, Jack, programs like yours are so important because there are so few opportunities for youth to get involved and to see the world. And, it's our experiences that make us who we are. And Jason and I went to high school together, and we didn't have stuff like this that we could do down in Red Wing. It was football or baseball or hockey or
Drinking.
some other sports. Or,
No,
That's
pretty much it.
So it's really important. So thank you for the work that you do.
Absolutely.
It's an essential part of who we are, and to do things like that is a really good thing. We mentioned Camp Enterprise before. It's amazing watching kids that get together and things like this, and the transformation that takes place even in a couple of days. It's an incredible experience as a mentor too. So if there are ways to volunteer, those are things that I certainly would potentially be
And
interested in
getting
as well.
together with people that it might be people that they don't know, like you said, or maybe wouldn't ever interact with on a daily basis.
Right.
And now they're there with them and they have to learn how to
Well, and
communicate.
exactly. I mean, that's why you think about what's happening with the election. That people on the right are saying, "I don't want to be around with it."
People are defriending people on Facebook.
Yeah.
They're ruining family relationships or cousins or friends. They're it's like you got to find a way to get through that, even though you have your differences, and you can't let that divide your complete life. I mean, it's just insane to me.
That's what one of our programs. I talked to one of our instructors, and our staff are great. And I said, "How was it?" And she said, "Well, the first 5 days it rained." I said, "Oh God, that's too bad." And she goes, "No, that's perfect because that brings everybody together, whether you're rich or poor or black or whatever. Everybody's wet."
Yeah,
so
that makes sense. Well, thanks so much, Jack. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Daniel. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
I'm Dawn Eldridge with Remax Results.
Remember, love yourself and love others. Have a great week, especially now. Thanks.
There's always something happening.